I have a follow-up question to that because this isn't typical, which is why I love it. And I think this is maybe an underappreciated or used way to grow for certain companies, and then also to stimulate growth for you all. So what were some of those pros when you thought about the time frame, maybe, or what you learned about how long it takes to grow a solid, sustainable business in this industry?
Well, I think that's it right there. It was that we looked at it as an opportunity to jump 4 years. It was having that background support that has already been through all of this stuff that we were about to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just a time warp, jump ahead, and how could that be a bad thing to have that ability? I think that really was it for us. It was I don't think this would have worked had it not been Lance and Britt, right? I mean, we certainly wouldn't have been as eager to jump into it because there is that mutual sense of familiarity, and we seem to jive very quickly. If you didn't have that sense of friendship right away, then there would be a lot more struggles. Dave Ramsey says the only ship that don't sail is a partnership.
Yeah.
I get what he means, but it's not necessarily 100% true. So hopefully this is the exception to that rule from Dave.
Yeah. And it just does, well, like to have, I guess, industry outsiders, as I call them, for lack of a better term. I think that helps there because there's just this fresh perspective and openness to this type of arrangement, right? So like Britt and Lance, like, of course, Britt cooks up stuff and is like, all right, we're doing this, let's go. What then after the attorney meeting? And then kind of once it was like, wow, we're expanding to another state.
I mean, I want to give credit to Britt and Kaylin though, because their efforts that they put forth and their inquisitive minds, I think, are what have found the many roadblocks that have come up,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been able to get over them. Because if they were just like, okay, everything's smooth, Lance and Britt have everything under control, they obviously know exactly what's going to happen next. I don't know if we would be where we are now, because every time they would sit down, there'd be another list of things that are like, oh, we need to overcome this. Or like she said, when we sat with our attorney, we're like, I don't even know what that phrase means. What are we about to do? So I'll let her kind of go from the attorney meeting, because there was a lot that came from that.
Yeah, I mean, there were several moments where I felt like I was in over my head. But if you want to grow anything, you have to, sit with those feelings. And you can either allow them to make you feel excited, or allow them to completely overwhelm you and just sort of like shut you down. I won't lie, Kevin, it's been a crazy couple of months, just with all the things that we've had going on, because we have Oklahoma that we're growing, and we have Iowa, and we have the commercial companies, and then we have a lot of other really exciting things that are going on behind the scenes. I can't give any information, but we're going to be on a TV show, which is really cool. And so there have been a lot of really good distractions along the way.
Sure.
But man, I don't recommend it. I'm really glad that we didn't. I'm glad for two things. I'm glad that we didn't do this in a busy season. And I'm so thankful for how Matt and Kaylin have been understanding in the fact that this is our first time down this path, and that we're all learning it together, and not to expect perfection out of us. I think one thing that they've also learned is that, even though we're 4 years ahead of them, we aren't a perfect company.
Mm-hmm.
We might have a lot of systems and processes that on one side of the curtain look really sharp, and then on the back side of the curtain, there's still a lot of manual work going on, and we're still, because Kevin, you probably know that everything on the back side of the curtain gets done last, and everything that's on the front side of the curtain is the priority.
Buttoned up. Buttoned up.
Yeah. And so they got a real good look behind the curtain. which, that put us in a really vulnerable place, and it made me feel insecure sometimes along the way. Kaylin is exceptional. She goes through things with a fine tooth comb, and she has sharpened and refined so much of what we have, and found mistakes that were latent and I was not aware of in some of our paperwork and some of our online material. And I really appreciate all of that. Each time it came in, I was like, it was sort of like a little dagger though. I was like, oh gosh, and it just was like, it sort of like chips away at what you thought you had already done and completed, and sort of, but it's a good thing that those things are coming to light.
Yeah.
It's an amazing growth, like opportunity. And just the way you describe all that, so refreshing. I think that's why people gravitate towards you. And Mike, my brother, he built all the initial code for Spectora. And so when we're going back in and refactoring it and tearing it down, he always has to gulp and then say, like, you know what? I don't care if I wrote that code. If it's shit, it's shit. We're gonna redo it because it's best for our customers. And he's done so good at modeling that. And it's really cool of you to hear that, like, oh, does that make things better for all of us? Cool. Let's do it. Like, I don't care if I overlooked that or did that, because we all have those things. And I think that's, the humility is so endearing. So I can really appreciate that. And it sounds like you have another world-class operator now kind of on the team with Kaylin that just like communicates, finds out what needs to be done, and does it like that. In our industry, right, Lance, is like, it's unheard of that like have people like this.
Hi everyone, this is Louis from Spectora. I'm going to put 3 links down in the description below. The first link is for you if you like Spectora, but maybe you just have a couple questions. You can schedule a 15-minute discovery call with someone from our client success team to make sure that Spectora is a great fit for you. It is, by the way. If you're ready to dive in and start using the app, the second link is for our free trial. With the average cost of a home inspection, that's a couple $1,000s that you'll pocket before you pay us a dime. And the third link is for our Spectora Jumpstart program. If you're a brand new home inspector, you probably need a website, or maybe you have a website that you just kind of threw up real quick and you're not super thrilled with it. In the Jumpstart program, we'll make you a great website based on feedback from you to make sure that it reflects your business, your market, and you. We'll optimize it for search engines, and we'll put an online scheduler on your website too, so you can spend less time on the phone and more time out in the field working. We'll also bundle it with a full year of the Spectora app, and we'll do it at a great price too. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you check out other videos on this channel, and take care.